vibe, one station. Fusion FM, your local community station, will be broadcasting from now until the 12th of May. One vibe, one station, focusing on social and community issues, conveying relevant news stories, and all this complemented by a better choice of music. Fusion FM, a radio station that reflects your community. One vibe, one station. Fusion FM 106.6. So tune in.
Okay, so the soundtracks, are they for short movies?
At the moment they're for short films because that's what we're doing, just to get our bearings and smooth off a few rough edges that we're still getting together with our craft. And
that's mainly on the sort of visual side of things, you know, with the filmmaking. You know, we're sort of we feel as though on the sound side with Darion, you know, he's got the skills, having had the experience with previous bands, to understand about mixing and sound levels and constructing a soundtrack. So really we're sort of learning about the sort of visual side, and that's really where we sort of team up as a partnership, because I studied filmmaking and Darion had a lot of experience with music, and so together we're sort of like a good synthesis when it comes to filmmaking, because obviously, you know, we can combine, you know, the two together to sort of try and make you know, good short films as a stepping stone for features. Really, that's sort of our angle. I've directed 5 shorts, but as Marshall Mahindru, which is the company that Darion and I formed together, Our Father was our second collaboration. So we intend to, you know, try and you know, get them going now, and maybe making at least 2 or 3 more before we start trying to seriously enter the feature film market.
Busking, you did busking, did you? What was that like? So, you know, I'm quite intrigued. You know,
well, it's good because it's I don't know, it's, like market research.
You wouldn't call it begging?
No.
Busting, it's a nice word.
No, because you don't expect well, me, I didn't expect people to give me money. I was just mainly that I was just looking at it, it's like, you know, you might get paid for practicing.
All right, okay.
You know, that's the way I'd look at it.
So what were people like? You know, did they just look at you, or was just?
Some people couldn't care less. Some people would stop and hang around. Some people would, you know, leave some money. And
okay, right. So you produce and create soundtracks. One of your short films, Our Father, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I did see. And that's where I actually, you know, inquired about you. You wrote a song, which was, you know, I was quite impressed with. What was the title of it, and can you remember it? Or you know, so many you wrote.
Are you talking about For Our Father? Yeah.
Yeah, Our Father. Yeah.
Called My Lovely. Yeah.
Your Lovely.
My Lovely.
My Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that what you wrote?
Yeah.
All by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how long did it take for you to write that? Just inspiration, it just came to.
Well, I had the music and the melody sort of kicking around for a couple of years actually, and then I got inspired for the lyrics when we started working on this film, because it just I don't know, it just seemed quite fitting. The mood of the music seemed quite fitting, and I mean, I tried playing it to Ben, and he liked it, and we went from there. You know,
we felt at the time we wanted to do something sort of sentimental, and there were times when Darion would just take the guitar and he'd just play along, you know, and sort of have tunes that would sort of suit the mood for that particular night. And I said to him, I like that tune, you know, is there any way you could perhaps put some lyrics to that? And he said, yeah, no problem, easy. And because I'd written a script that had a certain sort of reflective theme that was sort of going back in time, that was about, you know, paying tribute to a fatherly figure, you know, I felt that his ideas were well suited for this particular project. So he constructed it from the melody that I'd liked, and came up with a really good song.
So where do you go from here? Both of you, where do you go from here?
It's the next film, I think, from my point of view, I reckon. I mean, Darion was saying, I mean, he's still very much into his music, and in a way he's independent of me on that side, really. He does his own thing, and he's got his own creative sort of fuel. I'd say that the next film is sort of it's a film called In Broad Daylight, which we're going to be working on, as I've said earlier. But I reckon we've got two or three projects in the pipeline that we've already written the scripts for, And we've applied for the Millennium, not the Millennium Award, but the Awards for All grant, which is the West Midlands Arts Council grant, to try and help us with funding for films.
One vibe, one station, Fusion 106.6, Fusion 106.6, Fusion 106.6, Fusion 106.6, Fusion 106.6, Fusion 106.6.